Tavani, and I'm going to be going through the assignment for week 4, which is assignment 4.7, and it is prove users and computers. So the very first thing that I need to do, obviously, is to go through the instructions, make sure that I understand them. But since I've already done the assignment, I'm just going to do a walkthrough of how I did everything and showing, video evidence to show that I've actually done that. So uh, I have here connected I have here connected my server, which is on Azure Portal. So I had to use my credentials to use RDP um, to join an RDP session using my laptop. And so I'm just going to go to that screen quickly, which is here, and I'm going to just minimize out of this and get to Server Manager. And this is the landing page where you land whenever you open the Server Manager. So I'm just going to go out of RDP, out of this session, and go through the instructions and just make sure that I show the steps that I took to complete that. So the first thing is streamlining user and group management using Active Directory, and the instruction there is you have to use Active Directory users and computers to create the following organizational units. So if I go back to my session here in RDP, the very first thing that I have to do is to go over to tools, and then by tools I will see a whole bunch of things that have been populated there since our promotion of the domain controller to an active domain controller. So these are the tools there, and the one that we're looking for is Active Directory users and computers. So we wait for that to load. It takes a little bit of maybe a second or so, and then it opens. And the instruction tells me that I need to create organizational units. As you can see on the left here, they are already populated. Some of these organizational units. So if I go out of this, I'm just going to see that we need employees. We're going to need HR, IT, and things of that nature. So I'm just going to go back to make sure that I have HR, IT, employees, auditors, accounting, um, stakeholders, and research, as well as management. So these are all the organizational units. And how I created that is I went over here to the domain, I right click on it, and then I'm going to go down to new. And when I go to new, it will show another menu, and then I have to just click on organizational unit. I'll just have to make sure that I type in a name for it, and then I'm going to click OK, which I'm not going to do because I've already completed that part. And then once you click OK, then your organizational unit is created. And so I have created those organizational units, as you can see on the left hand side there. So I'm just going to go out of RDP once again, go to instruction number 2, which is using Active Directory users and computers, create the following new users. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is now to go back again to my RDP session. I'm going to begin by showing how you create a user. So I'm just going to go over to users, which is one of the um, groups that already comes with this Active Directory users and computers. So this is where all your users are going to be captured. This is where you're going to store them in this container. So I can just right click on it, and then it's going to show me this menu. I'm going to say new, and obviously go to the thing that I want to create, which is here. I need to create a user, and then I'm going to click on it. It's going to show me this menu. Just as a way to show an example, I'm just going to put my own name, Tavani, and then I'm going to put my last name, Helebwa, login page. So Tabari Helebwa, HELEGWA. And then once I do that, it will take me to the next part where I will have to create my password. So the wonderful thing about Active Directory is it allows you to do all these other different options here with your password. Like you can put one password here as an admin, and then once the person that's going to be using that user gets the user details, they're going to type in their own password that they will remember. But obviously, as an admin, I will have access to that user because I am the administrator. So you can allow user. You can say that user is not allowed to change the password at all. You can say that you don't want the password to never expire because sometimes you can assign a password to last only for like 90 days, and then after 90 days it can be cleared, and then you have to assign that user a different password. So I'm not going to create a password now because I don't need to create a user under my name, but I've already created all the users. So currently the users are sitting in the different organizational units. Um, that's because the assignment, which is the next part, I need to um, I need to show that I created the users as well as putting the users in the different organizational units. So by way of example, I'm just going to go into research, and research for sure is going to show me that there's two people in there, or at least two users, Phil and Ted. I'm just going to also put. I'm just also going to show by example HR. We're going to see that in HR we have Sarah, who's a user there, and then the last thing maybe by um, auditors, for instance, we've got Bruce and Sally. So those are the users that I created when I was doing the second step, I believe it to be. Um, and then I'm going to go to step number 3, which is using File Explorer. Create the following folder, and the folder we're going to name it Promised Land. So I'm just going to quickly go back again to my session here. I'm just going to minimize out of this. I'm going to minimize out of the Server Manager. Um, and then this brings me to my desktop, which is so much similar to our normal Windows 11 desktop screen. So I'm going to go to File Explorer. It's already open, and this is inside Promised Land, but I need to be outside to show that indeed I created Promised Land. How I do that, you just go over here, you just click on New. You can say, okay, I want to create a folder, and then you're going to then type in the name Promised Land, and then you're going to save that. But since I already have Promised Land, I'm just going to quickly just delete this because I don't need it. I already have Promised Land over here. And then another way of doing this is to just right click here. Um, I did this on my C drive, so this is I go to this PC, and then I go to Windows, and then this partition of my hard drive, and then I'm just going to be in C in drive C. So I'm going to say right click there, and then new, and then you see the very same thing that you see if you go over here, and then you're just going to create your folder. And then the next step is to create the following subfolders within Promised Land. So when I first opened File Explorer, it landed where I was inside um, Promised Land, but now I'm just going to show going into Promised Land that I indeed have those different subfolders. So I'm just going to double click on there, and there you are. We have accounting, auditors, employees, HR, IT, management, research, it's stakeholders. So those are the subfolders that I'm supposed to create inside Promised Land, which is the main folder. And so I'm just going to click out of this and go to the next step. Step number 5 is to assign the following users to the following organizational units. So basically, This is the step that we'll have to use. I'll have to use Active Directory users and computers. So I've already assigned the different users to the different organizational units. So for instance, like here, you can see Sarah is inside HR. In IT, I've got this very strange name that I've never seen. I don't know how to properly pronounce that. And then we're going to go to management. We've got three people there. It's Janine, I believe that is. And then that is Pearl. We've got Frank in there as well. And then in stakeholders, we've got Spencer, we've got Tim, and Dean. In accounting, we've got Stefan, we've got Guy in there. And then for the auditors, we've got Sally and Bruce. I'm just going to go back now here to see that yes, indeed, Sarah is in HR, Ted and Phil are in research, that other guy is in IT, Spencer and Tim and Dean are in stakeholders, Janine, Frank and Pearl are in management, Sally and Bruce are in auditors, Stefan and Guy are in accounting, as I demonstrated there. Then that leads me to the final and the last step, which is to assign the following NTFS user permissions. So I'm just going to go over just three of those to show that I indeed managed to do that. So I'm just going to go with Sarah, Ted and Phil, and then Sally and Bruce. So I'm just going to go with Sarah first. So I'm just going to go back to my RDP session here. I'm going to minimize this and go back to Promised Land. I just need to see here. I just need to right click on research and I'm going to go to properties. I'm going to say security and okay, I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong folder or subfolder. I have to go back and say, okay, Sarah is in the HR folder if she needs to have full control. So go back again, HR, right click on it. I'm going to go to properties and I'm going to go to security and I will see indeed that Sarah is part of she's part of the HR subfolder and she has control over everything basically. So she has full control, and as you can see, everything has got a check mark on it, meaning that indeed Sarah has full control of this folder. I'm just going to go out once more and go back here and demonstrate, as I said, Ted and Phil, who have the permission to modify the research folder. So I'll just go back again and locate research over here, right click on it, go to properties, and I'm going to go to security. And as you can see, indeed, we have Ted and Phil. And I'm just going to go and click over Phil there. And as you can see, modify will give us not as much control as full control does, but it's going to give us enough to be able to do a few things, and that is to read and execute, to list folded contents, to read and to write. And so we can see that Ted um, has those permissions. We're going to go over to Phil. Phil obviously has the very same permissions just like Ted because they're in the very same subfolder. So I'm just going to click OK there and I'm going to quickly go back to my instructions and I'm going to just demonstrate Spencer, Tim, and Dean quickly. So I go back here. Actually, I forgot to check um, what subfolder they're in. So stakeholders. So I'm just going to go back over here, stakeholders, right click on it, and properties, and security, and I will see my three guys there that are within the stakeholders um, subfolder. We've got Spencer, we've got Tim, and Dean. We're just going to click on Spencer, and they all have modified conditions, as you can see. And so, yes, that concludes this assignment and everything that I needed to do. I think I managed to do everything that I needed to do. Um, Thank you.